Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be back on my channel and doing a video for you today. If you are new here, my name is Hannah Olson. I'm an elementary teacher turned stay-at-home mom to our two kids, Sophie and Soren. Sophie is 4.5, almost 5, and Soren is 2.5, just about 3. And our lives are full and busy, and we are also homeschooling, and that is what the topic of today's video is, and I'm so excited to share more with you. A quick little bit of background for you before we delve into all of the curriculum and other details of today's video. We are primarily homeschooling because of my husband's job. There are several reasons why we're homeschooling. That's the primary reason. And because of Bjorn's job, we actually live in an apartment 2 hours away from here, from our home, for 5 months out of the year, and then the other 7 months of the year we live here. So that would make for a pretty choppy year for the kids, or we would have to choose for the children and myself to live separately from my husband for about half the year, and we just don't want to do that. We want to live together. So for consistency's sake and other reasons too, we are choosing to homeschool our kids. And we'll be homeschooling for the foreseeable future. Of course, like a lot of families do, we will be taking it 1 year at a time. This is technically our 3rd year of homeschooling, and I know the kids are so young, but technically it is our 3rd year, so we have some good habits and routines and excitement surrounding schooling in our family, which I love. We did casual preschool with Sophie back when so her birthday's in October, so back when she was 2.5, almost 3, very close to 3, we did casual preschool. Then the following year, which was last year actually, when she was just about to turn 4, and then she was 4 for the majority of the year, she did pre-K. And this year for her, I'm calling it pre-K again. So it's just a 2nd year of pre-K work before we dive into fully calling it kindergarten. But as you'll see in today's video, and as I'll explain, there are some kindergarten level things that she's doing. But just for, I don't know, clarity's sake, we are going to call it pre-K. It's the 2nd year of pre-K for Sophie. And then our son Soren, he's 2.5 right now. In November he turns 3. He's been wanting to do school alongside Sophie, and so this year we're doing casual. I call it casual because we're not being very rigorous about all the academics for him. We are doing casual preschool for Soren, so he's very excited, and I'm excited to show you some of the preschool materials that I have gathered up for him. I do have a good number of past videos about homeschooling. If you're interested, you can scroll back down through those, and I think you'll find a bit of fun collections of materials, and then also peeks at our day-to-day life. Some of those day-in-the-life vlogs are fun when you get to see little peeks at homeschooling, and even just activities that I've gathered up for Sophie in the past. So be sure to check those out. And then if you want a really updated, pretty much every single day look at what our life is like, you can definitely follow me on Instagram. It's Hannah B. Olson, B-E-E is the middle part, Hannah B. Olson over on Instagram, and I share a lot in stories, and you'll see some homeschooling things in there, plus other things like baking and adventures with the kids, all sorts of stuff. All right, let's talk about curriculum. I will try to remember. I've got a little list over here so that I don't miss anything. If I do miss something and I realize later when I'm editing this video, I will just add it to the list below. So first of all, I will be making a list full of links down below in the description box. And I'm hoping to also turn this into a blog post too, just so I have everything linked in one place for people to access if you're interested. I love this kind of stuff, so it's always fun to see what other moms, what other families are using for homeschool. So for our spine, or our backbone of our curriculum, which is more of the basic subjects, we have actually been shifting over to using the good and the beautiful. And if you haven't heard of this curriculum, they call themselves a non-denominational Christian homeschool curriculum, and I can't remember how many grades they go up through. It might even be 8th by this point. and I just love their goal and their mission. It's to produce things that are good and beautiful, it says in the name. And I just love how beautiful and engaging their lessons are. Their lessons are not beautiful just for the sake of an organized mom who really likes pretty looking lesson plans, because that's not the point at the end of the day, but they're really engaging lesson plans, and I found they've worked so well for my daughter as well as for my son, who loves following along with our lessons too. So we have really started to lean heavily on the good and the beautiful. So Sophie has worked through their preschool level curriculum, as well as we are wrapping up the kindergarten prep level, and these are new. They recently came out with that preschool level as well as the kindergarten prep, which is kind of the pre-K. It comes right before K, or kindergarten level. And we actually have already purchased the kindergarten level for Sophie for language arts, because The Good and the Beautiful's kindergarten prep is not too many lessons, and I'll show you that book too in a second here. But the kindergarten prep isn't too many lessons, and I know before too long into this school year we'll be sliding on over to the kindergarten level K for her language arts. And then for math for Sophie, we are using The Good and the Beautiful's level K math curriculum, which is kindergarten level math. They have a little placement test online, and then I determined she was ready to kind of transition into that last year. I can't quite remember at what point of the school year we had bought that level K math, but we're loving it so far, and there are a lot of lessons in it, so we're just going to really intentionally and slowly work our way through the level K math for her. I know I've talked a lot about Sunlight Curriculum in the past. That's another Christian curriculum company, and they are very literature based. So they have a huge stack of books that you can purchase from them, or you can go through the list and purchase on Amazon or something, which is what I've done in the past. This year I have combed through the Sunlight books that we have already, like what we already own, and I have pulled out the ones that I want to do for Soren for preschool level, like nursery rhyme books and other fairy tales and stories and just how the world works and jobs. There are all sorts of really fun resources or books that are from that Sunlight preschool level that we already have. And then for Sophie this year for Sunlight curriculum, I didn't actually go on their site and order the whole swath of pre-K or even level K books for her, because I just really picked through and saw their book list, and I went and I ordered the books that I wanted to work into her pre-K level this year. So that's where we're kind of taking a shift away from buying tons of Sunlight books, but still using it as a book list and a really good recommendation or jumping off point for our other curriculum. And I love supplementing curriculums with other activities. I am a former elementary school teacher, like I might have mentioned. I know I've mentioned in past videos, and so I love this kind of stuff. I love piecing together different curriculums. So as much as I love an open and go curriculum, I really like piecing together other ones too. And then this is the year that we want to teach Sophie how to read officially. We love books in this family. She's always flipping through books already and narrating them to herself and trying to write down words and sounding them out, but we want to really officially teach her how to read. And so I've done quite a bit of research on decodable readers or phonics based books where she can really learn how to sound out those, you know, there are some sight words, but sound out those CVC or 3-letter words, consonant, vowel, consonant. And I actually bought, I think it's 3 different sets of decodable books, and we can use them for our kids throughout the years and really feel out which different sets work best for us. I'm excited about all of them. Sophie has loved already going through them and trying to read them along with me. It's been a blast, and so I'll show you those readers as well. For science, we're actually doing a Good and the Beautiful curriculum. It's their science curriculum for little kids. It's called Science for Little Hearts and Hands, if I'm saying it correctly. I actually have a video all about it. It's pretty new, and so you'll definitely want to check out that video if you have little kids and you're looking for a really sweet and simple and engaging science curriculum. But then we have other activities that I've pulled for all sorts of reasons and for different subjects, so I'll show you those over at our homeschool cabinet too. And And then finally, I have been reading up more lately on classical education. I've been loving a lot of what I've learned and what I've read, and I've been underlining and taking notes like crazy. At this point, I would not say I'm 100% like in that camp or 100% committed at this point to the classical education philosophy, but I did want to mention that because it did affect some of my choices for this year and some of the extra activities and supplemental stuff that I have gathered. Well friends, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was inspirational or helpful for you in terms of deciding on some preschool and pre-K, even level K kindergarten work for your child this year. And I just find this stuff so fascinating, so I hope it was really interesting and fun for you. So make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel here if you aren't already, and make sure you're following along on Instagram over at Hannah B. Olson, because that's where I share daily stuff. Thank you again for watching, and I hope wherever you're at that you're having a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.